Biggest fight in women's boxing history. You and Katie Taylor. How are your emotions? Couple days out. How are you feeling right now?
I'm anxious and ready to go in there and put on a performance.
It's been a couple. You've been trying to get this fight to happen for years and years. Did you ever question if it was ever going to happen at all?
No, the only question was like when it was gonna happen and for the money that we deserve. But no, I knew this fight was gonna happen, and now it's just the best time. Best timing is everything, and this is the best time.
People are calling this the biggest women's boxing match ever. What kind of cultural impact do you hope that it's going to make for women's boxing in the future?
It's definitely an eye opener for women's boxing, and it's just the beginning of many great fights to come. And I think it's gonna help women's boxing.
Has it hit you that when you were starting out, when we were doing women's boxing, that there was none of this, and now you're able to fight for? I'm sure they're saying seven figures. Has it really hit you that this is really big? This is a really big deal.
No, and I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to concentrate on my fight, the victory on Saturday, and yes, no, I don't want to put no more pressure on myself.
Who do you think that there's who has more pressure going into this fight? You're fighting in New York in your hometown. She's still a huge fighter. I mean, she still has a big fan base in New York. But do you feel the pressure's on her or is it on you?
It's both, maybe more on her because she's the champion. She's undefeated. I have one loss on my record, so I mean, it's probably her.
Can we talk about Jake Paul? What kind of influence he's had on this fight? He made this fight happen. He's your manager now. Can you talk about his influence on this fight?
Well, he definitely helped a lot to get the money that we deserve, to get it at the venue at its MSG main event. This fight was gonna happen eventually, but it was capped at a certain amount. But with Jake Paul's name on the promotion, it helped tremendously.
Talk about Katie Taylor, your opponent, a little bit. Just your matchup with her. She's obviously the bigger opponent. She's the lightweight. You fought at lightweight, but you move up and down. Just tell me about your matchup with her. How do you match up with her?
Yeah, she's naturally the bigger fighter because I'm the unified featherweight champion. But she's a good champion. She's a great champion. She's a great fighter. She's fast. But I think that I have what it takes to dethrone Katie Taylor.
What does it mean for Latinos, for Puerto Ricans? People see you as the Puerto Rican fighter right now, the big Puerto Rican fighter. Historically, there's been great Puerto Rican fighters coming through. What does that mean to you, and what do you look to represent when you're coming into the ring?
No, it means a lot to be a Latina, to be it's everything for me. And I'm excited to be one of a lot of things in the sport. The first seven division, first headlining Madison Square Garden, first Latina to make seven figures in boxing. So that means a lot to me. And it's just, I hope a lot of the young Latinas can see that you can do it too.
All right. So one thing about you is your dedication to boxing is almost legendary. Is it true that you do not own a phone?
No, it's definitely true. And I still don't. And after this fight, trust me, I'm not gonna have one, especially after this fight.
Were you ever on a phone? Is there at one
Oh,
point?
I mean, eventually, maybe, but no, not right now.
All right. So for people who haven't tuned into it, why do you think that women's boxing has? For me, I think women's MMA has surpassed women's boxing. Why do you think it's taken so long for you guys to get to this place where you have these huge fights now headlining Madison Square Garden?
Well, we never had the platforms before. Now we have platforms. We have people backing us up, people pushing for us, giving us that light to showcase our skills. So now a lot more people are coming along and they're signing women fighters and they putting us on. So I think you're gonna see it a lot more.
Okay. Lastly, for people who haven't watched, there's going to be a lot of people tuning in for the first time, watching women's boxing for the first time. What kind of message do you have for them before the fight is coming up now?
Well, this is the best fight. If this is your first women's fight, it's the best fight to watch. You have two pound for pound great females going at it. Everything's on the line, and you're not gonna be disappointed, and you're gonna want to continue to watch women's boxing.
All right. Maybe not a prediction, but how do you envision the fight going? Pretty
And
much.
you,
Huh?
and the spirit champion.
They're on this-